First reveals for Animation Chronicle 2022 is here, so let's begin. Ignoring anything that's basically support for other archetypes, we finally got the printing of the G Golem archetype for Earth. Hopefully Windy, Lightning, and Bowman will get there soon. So we start off with G Golem Rock Hammer, which is a level 6 Earth Cyberse with 1800 attack, 2400 defense, and its effect is, if this card's in your hand, you can discard one other Cyberse monster and then decrease this card's level by 2 until the end of the turn. Since it's a level 6, you discard one Cyberse, it will become level 4, so it makes it easily normal summonable, which actually combos with the second effect where you can tribute this card to special summon 3 G Golem tokens, which are Earth Cyberse level 1s with 0 attack and defense in defense. And like usual, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except for the same monster type that it is, in this case Cyberse. And each effect is a hard once per turn. Obvious 3-up because this sets up your plays, and also giving you 3 tokens for a Link summon is actually pretty strong. At most, the only problem with this card is that it's a level 6 that requires you to have another Cyberse monster in your hand, or a cost down, for you to be able to summon this without tributing. But in that, you do need to run 3 of these. Next, G Golem Pebble Dog. Level 2 Earth Cyberse with 300 attack, 1000 defense, and its effect is, if this card is no more special summon, you can take one G Golem Pebble Dog from your deck, add it to your hand, or special summon it, but you cannot special summon a monster for the rest of the turn except for Cyberse. This is obviously meant to make your plays, but the second effect actually combos with some of your G Golem Link monsters, because if this card is sent from hand to the graveyard, you can add one G Golem card from your deck to your hand. Spoiler alert, some of your Link monsters are going to tell you to discard G Golem monsters from your hand, so this is just good fodder for that. And each of his effects are hard once per turn. So obvious 3-up because it sets up your play, and also it's your discard fodder, so obviously it's a must play 3. And then to the Link monsters, we start off with G Golem Crystal Heart. It's a Water Cyberse Link 2 with 0 attack, left and bottom, requires 2 Cyberse monsters, and its effect is, first effect is a hard once per turn where you can target one Earth Link monster in your graveyard and special summon it to where this card points to. And if you do, place one G Golem counter on this card. This is a very good effect because it lets you recover your plays, and it's also very important to combo off to replicate the anime. And that's for the second effect. An Earth monster that is soul linked with this card gets 600 attack for every G Golem counter on this card, and it can also make a second attack during each battle phase, and also gives it the ability to do piercing damage. So for those who don't know, in the anime, this card is supposed to do the supporting, while the card that this card summoned back is supposed to do the offensive plays. And the soul link part is the representation of it both being connected, hence why its effects are more support based than anything. Overall, you do have to run this because it's pretty much one of your main cards. Next, G Golem Stubborn Munhir, which is a Link 2 Earth Cyberse with 1500 attack, top and bottom. It requires 2 Earth monsters, and its effect is, his only effect, which is a hard once per turn. If this card's special summoned from the graveyard, you can target one Earth monster from your graveyard that can be normal summoned or set, either add it to your hand or special summon it. But if you special summoned it, its effects are negated and banish it when it leaves the field. This is basically one way to do your Link 3 play, and just basically your recovery play, especially for Crystal Heart for this to be brought back, hence why the arrow is still pointing up, so there will be use for this. Next, for one of the boss monsters, G Golem Invalid Dolmen, Link 3 Earth Cyberse with 2800 attack, top, left, right, and requires at least 2 Earth monsters, and its effect is, your soul link monsters are unaffected by monster effects on your opponent's field, hence why it still points up and right just to be connected with Crystal Heart. Second effect, your opponent must attack this card if able. Protect Crystal Heart no matter what. Third effect, once per turn, you can discard one Cyberse monster from your hand and draw a card. Well, you got discard fodder out of your dog, and you also got some generic Cyberse support that you can use as well. Fourth effect, if this Soul Link monster is destroyed, you can negate all the effect of face-up cards your opponent controls. That's pretty powerful because your opponent must attack this card no matter what, and you protecting Crystal Heart no matter what basically. Very likely chance this will get targeted for destruction. And this plus Crystal Heart will make this 34k that could attack twice with piercing. Not too bad. And it's one of those archetypes so far that you could actually replicate the anime with. And now to the ultimate G Golem, G Golem Dignified Tritheon, which is of course a Link 4 with 3200 attack, Earth Cyberse, up, left, right, down, requires at least 2 Earth monsters, and the effect is, your opponent must attack this card if enabled, protect Crystal Heart no matter what, Once per battle, if this card battles an opponent's monster during damage calculation, you can send 1 Earth monster from your hand to the graveyard. Until the end of this turn, that monster loses 200 attack and its effects are negated. I will have to agree that negating during battle is more effective than getting destroyed to negate everything. And it can also still trigger some of your dogs. Third effect, which is hard once per turn. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a link monster you control, quick effect, you can negate that effect if you do destroy it. Free negate once per turn, not too bad. Although I would prefer having the unaffected by monster effects instead, but this is not too bad either. And like usual, if this adds up with Crystal Heart, it will be at least 4,000 that can attack twice. And forcing your opponent to attack a 4k beater isn't fun either. I just kind of wish that it has upgraded protection in comparison to the Link 3 because it is your ultimate G Golem monster. It's kind of unfortunate, especially you must make the ultimate wall for Crystal Heart, but still decent to run. Finally, our last card, Gravity Balance. It's a normal spell and it's always treated as a G Golem card, so you can search it with your dog. And its effect is, first off, you can only activate one of these per turn. The first effect is that you can target 2 Earth monsters with the same name that are banished and or in your graveyard and special summon them both in defense, but change their attack and defense to 0 with their effects negated and then destroy them at the end phase. Pretty decent recovery play, I'm not gonna lie. And since it could be any Earth monsters, if you have 2 Link 2s in your graveyard, you could go for a Link 4 play just like that. The second effect is that if a G Golem monster you control would be destroyed by battle or by opponent's card effect, you can banish this card instead. So it's a good recovery card plus protection on top of it. Obviously run it, and considering that currently this is our only G Golem spell, you might have to just run it at 3. So that's it for now for this archetype. What do you guys think about the new G Golem stuff, especially the replicating on the anime? My only problem so far is that the lack of main deck monsters. Yes, we do have decent amount of good generic Cyberse monsters that you can use for this deck, but we are short on G Golem main deck monsters. And also, do you guys hope that Armatos Legios, Storm Riders, and Hydra Drive will also get printed soon? Because I've been waiting for the remaining Ignis Archetypes to all get printed already, especially Armatos Legio and Hydra Drive if you count that as well. But in that, now it's time to say goodbye.